my eye. Girl, I never loved one like you.
Man, oh man, you're my best friend. I'm screaming too. There's nothing that, there ain't nothing that I need.
Well, hot and heavy pumpkin pie, chocolate candy, Jesus Christ, ain't nothing please me more than you.
I told everybody I was engaged, but he hasn't. So for those of you
I would meet here, Jess would be here at the same time. We'd go on the side of the house here when David Jr. lived here with Jocelyn. And we'd climb on each other's backs and we'd start poking the bear. He'd be in there playing his games or whatever. We'd be like, hey, why don't you order us a Whopper like you eat all the time? Why don't you get us a Whopper, dude? Then we'd just sit in there and terrorize this guy. And one day I'd come after school and we started going joke after joke after joke. We were on him for about 2 minutes. And then we were like deer in the headlights. As soon as he saw us and he saw us talking shit, he got up out of his bed, ran outside, we heard the door open. We ran this way to the backyard and we had Mike jump out from around the corner. Boom! We turned around, went the other way, and then David Jr. Boom! And that was the rest of that. Never again.
So in the back room used to be the computer. I don't know if you guys remember. It was like a regular computer. And after work or after school, I would go in there, we would all go in there, and AIM was the thing. So I would go on AIM, like chat my friends or whatever, and every time I walked away, Uncle Carlos smelt it and like went in there and was on the computer. He would get me blocked from people. Somebody told me, like, why did you say that? And I was like, what did I say? And he was like, you told me you wanted to spackle my butt with paste. And so I was always humiliated. So then I got really good. I got really good at like logging out if I had to go to the bathroom or whatever. Well, one day I was like 15, 16, I was in high school. I went to go use the computer and he was logged in. It was his Yahoo chat. And so I said, I double clicked on someone random, like on his chat. And it was some lady and I was like, hey, how's it going? And she goes, oh, you know, busy in finance, always busy in finance. And like, so we're just making small talk. And we're talking for a second. I was like, all right, I gotta go. My date's here, and he gets mad when I'm late. and then I signed off. And the next day, I come home from school, and he's yelling at Joseph. Yelling at him. Why would you do that? What the fuck are you doing? You got me, you know, this is at work. And then I walked back there, and I just like smiled and turned away, and he's like, you're lucky. You're lucky.
Actually, one of my coworkers, what happened was I went to work the next day, and she was like, hey, you know, how was your date yesterday? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, didn't you go on a date with your boyfriend? And I go, what? What are you talking about? She's like, we were talking last night, and you told me you were going on a date. And I was like, no, that wasn't me. She's like, you're not gay? I was like, no, I'm not gay.
Some of my favorite memories here, just tearing it up with the cousins outside, playing hide and seek, playing baseball in the front, jumping in the ivy across the street, not to mention always having Ovaltine on deck and the chocolate muffins in the freezer. Love you, Mike.
Virginia came over to do laundry, and I got a pair of Terrell's poo-poo stained underwear, and so I hooked it to the handle of her tail.
No, it was the hitch.
Okay. And so there she went, driving off with these underwear, and then she goes, did you blah, blah, blah? Or no, maybe I asked her, and she said, I had people staring at me. And I thought, I was like, and she goes, and then I get home, and I go to, I don't know what you did or how did you find
It was Gerald's truck, and I don't know.
How did you find it?
I have no fucking idea.
And she was telling us about it, or I asked you, did anybody ever say, did you ever get those? And you said, that was you.
All right, so one of my favorite memories here is when I caught Mai putting ketchup in her spaghetti. And I was like, what the fuck? She looked at me, she goes, and I was like, I ain't gonna tell nobody. And another memory is sneaking these eggs in the garage and hitting this right here.
My favorite memory is when Mai begged to try my hot Cheetos, and then she took one and she said it was too spicy. She's like for like 30 minutes and ran inside and got water.
The memory of this house is when me, Jules, and Jet went to Target with Auntie Rose, and me and Jules got like this toy hamster, and we put it in Mai's hand, and when it moved, she threw it across the patio. She goes, "Whoa!"
Okay, one of my favorite memories is walking home from school with Matthew and coming home to Ava's biggest bowl of Mint ice cream every day.
My favorite memory here was when Joshua came in defense for Justin and beat the shit out of Joseph and Jeremy. Another thing too, one of my favorite memories is when that same day Joshua was beating up on Jeremy and trying to stuff him under Mr. Pico's fence with his leg.
My favorite memory here was Easter of 2024 when we told Maya we were pregnant with Jolie. Yeah.
One of my favorite memories is when me and our cousins used to perform when there was like a little stage right there, and we would sing Doug or hit like stuff like a trash can. And then when Stephanie and Michelle would always go to the garage to the refrigerators and get us little snack plates and like make up their own little like contraption for us.
One of my favorite memories was sitting in the living room with Steph. We were sitting in the living room peacefully watching TV. I think it was the Flintstones. And at this time, we were always going to Rite Aid and we were getting Pop Rocks. That was the thing. Uncle Carlos comes in. He's like, "You guys want to go for a ride with me? You want to go get some Pop Rocks at Rite Aid?" We were like, "Yeah." He's like, "Right. Put your shoes on. I'll be in the car." So we go put on our shoes. We go tell Mine, we're like, "Mine, we're going with Uncle Carlos to Rite Aid. We'll be right back." And he's waiting in his black Jetta at the bottom of the driveway. We go running and he takes off. And we're like, "No!" And then we wait at the bottom of the driveway and he never comes back. That's it.
We were playing here and we were playing ball and the ball went over here. And so I ran over there to get the ball and my foot went into the dirt, into guts. And I went screaming, running into the house. "I stepped on guts! I stepped on guts!" That's when I found out Maya used to clean her fish. She used to get the guts and it was a fresh buried hole of fish guts that I stepped in.
I remember. Ready? Okay. My favorite memory is when Carlos was talking back to Mai in the kitchen and he was up against the refrigerator. She smacked him in the face and he said, "That didn't hurt, do it again." And she smacked him again and then he said, "That didn't hurt, do it again." She smacked him again and he said, "That didn't hurt, do it again."
Memory is when I got to watch George get whipped by the belt and then Mike came to me next.
All right, every memory here has been my favorite. Everything from the holidays to summer breaks in the patio, playing tag, hitting the high note. All of it's been my favorite. This is the best place to grow up.
I was in the room, Michelle was with me, and I was busting the high note. I was singing. Pi walked by and said, "Hey, keep it down." He left down the hallway, and I mumbled to Michelle, "Just hitting the high note." And he heard, and he said, "Hit the high note someplace else."
Great moment in his house.
Yep.
Emmett, Veronica, Elia, and Jason were going to the drive-in movie theaters. And they wanted to save some money, so they had Elia and Veronica get in the trunk of the car.
That's not what they told me.
And while they were in line, Emmett kept popping the trunk of the car. So Elia and Veronica keep reaching up, and people are seeing them in the trunk of the car, grabbing the hood.
No, it wasn't it. What happened was,
There we go.
they did say, "Let's save some money," whatever. So we went in the trunk. They said, "Hey guys, you can come out now." So we go, we pull up the trunk, we climb out of the trunk. There's fucking helicopters. And we're in line. There's helicopters with lights on because people were doing that. Sneaking around. We come climbing out and there's fucking lights on this from helicopters. Yes.
Okay, my favorite memory in this house is actually more recent. It was over a year ago, more than 2 years maybe. Pi was putting Mai to sleep and he was showing me his routine on how he puts her to sleep. And she was going so slow, but he was trying to talk her through it. And I remember I was recording him. He looked at me from the side and went like this. And then when he got her in bed, I kind of moved over and I was listening to them bicker a little bit. And then when he turned away, she looked at me and went like this. And so they were both like kind of making fun of each other in this routine, but only acknowledging it when I was looking at them. It was so sweet. That's my favorite memory.